versus... It's the team that speaks softly but carries a big shtick. Versus... a team that hangs out at Starbucks and then bitches about it later on stage. That's right, it's Comedy Legends versus Alternative Comics on Versus. And now a man who likes to visit children's hospitals in his spare time and steal the medication, Greg Proops!
Hello, my ungrateful cabbages, and welcome to Versus, the show that brings together two rival teams and pits them against one another in mortal intellectual combat. You don't have to be a genius or even smart or even a comedian to play this show tonight. It's tragically hip versus hip replacements. Oh, be still, my beating heart. We've met the teams. Now let's kill the players. Joe!
First, for the Comedy Legends, there's Addotta. He once opened for Milton Berle, and he couldn't sit down for 2 weeks. Then there's Shelley Berman. He still performs regularly, thanks to Metamucil. Finally, there's Fred Travalena. He's been making people laugh for over 20 years. Unfortunately, he's been doing comedy for 40 years. And there they are, the Comedy Legends. Say hello to Patton Oswalt. He's never been accused of stealing a joke because he doesn't use any in his act. Next, there's Sarah Silverman. This isn't the first time she's been sandwiched between two comics. And finally, there's Blaine Capatch. He got all his clothes and half his jokes at Stephen Wright's garage sale. And those are the Alternative Comics. It's standing room only, and I can't get a table.
There are no tables in alternative comedy clubs, Joe.
Crap.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it, because finally, it's Comedy Armageddon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Old school versus young Turks.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. We're going to start things off with some general knowledge questions. Everyone has a chance to ring in, and every correct answer is worth 100 skitchoons. If you get it wrong, don't freak out. You don't lose any points, but the other team has a chance to confer and take what you thought was yours. All eyes gaze in breathless wonder at the majesty of the Versus board. Comedians, here's our first subject. Movies, and the categories M. For the first time, it wasn't a Caucasian to celebrate. You were right, and smile and the whole world recoils in horror. Alternative Comics, you won the coin toss backstage, which is, of course, your fee as well. You picked the first category, Patton.
Peas and carrots, peas and carrots, peas and carrots. We'll take smile and the whole world recoils in horror.
All right, and may I remind you not to use false, weird dialogue underneath things. Here we go. What gnarly-toothed British international man of mystery did Mike Myers play in his 1997 movie of the same name? Sarah!
Oh, Austin Powers.
Is correct. Rolling along. Winning in 1963 for the film Lilies of the Field, who was the first African-American actor to win an Academy Award? Addotta.
That would be Sidney Poitier.
I'm over here, and it is Sidney Poitier. I'm joking.
It's in the round. It's in the round.
I know.
I apologize.
No, there's no redoing.
But if I may, I think it's knowingly rather than knowingly.
Ah, yes. Thank you for that correction. I appreciate that. Kip, are you familiar with your opponents?
Am I supposed to be?
Perhaps after the show we can work something out.
Well, I think they're fine young people, and God knows they're going to be worthy opponents.
Up yours, Kip!
Let's move to our next subject, if we will.
Big money.
And we will. Big money. Here we go. Politics. And the categories are: do you, Netanyahu, and presidents who had trouble sustaining an election?
Whoa! Hey.
Well.
Kip, your formidable You're sage and you're wise. Will you choose from the board, my precious?
I would say presidents who had trouble sustaining an election.
And you have just said it. Here we go. In 1987, what model was seen with presidential hopeful Gary Hart, causing him to withdraw from the race? Patton.
Donna Rice?
Donna Rice is correct. Fine, but his time did not expire.
Wow.
And he got in just in time, as did Gary. Here we go. What is the collective name for the Israeli parliament? Shelley.
The Knesset.
That is true. The Knesset is right. Here we go to our next subject, which is sports. And the categories are the halfback of Notre Dame and rectum. It nearly killed him.
Whose choice is it?
Shelley, you have the eye of the tiger. Will you choose?
Yes, well, I'm very fond of rectums. It nearly killed him.
All right. I'm not going to delve. Here we are. What New York Yankee slugger had successful colon cancer surgery just before the 1998 World Series? Shelley.
It was Joe Torre. No?
No. It was not. Anybody? Nobody? Nothing. All right, Fred.
Darryl Strawberry?
It was. It was, but you already had the answer wrong once, so I'm afraid I can't allow it. But that's where the hilarity comes in. What legendary Norwegian-born Notre Dame football coach racked up 105 victories before his death in 1931? Shelley.
Knut Rockne.
Is correct. Well, apparently sports is not something you guys spend your idle hours viewing. Well, we're going to try for bongs and comic books, but we'll go with this one, which is world geography.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Watch my wake.
And the two categories are, Russian to judgment, and you call it a nervous groin, I call it a ball tick.
Ball tick.
And again, you were correct. So, who was the last person to answer anything right? I think it was you, Shelley. Why don't you choose?
How about Russian to judgment, please?
All right, here we go. Once the place where the Soviets exiled political prisoners, what 4 million square mile area is sandwiched between the Ural Mountains and the Pacific?
Siberia?
Siberia is correct.
See, that's what I mean. That's what I warned you about.
That was for you Risk players out there. And here's another one for you, Irkutsk. Okay, you call it a nervous groin, I call it a Baltic. Bounded by 9 northern European countries, the Baltic Sea is an arm of what ocean? Shell.
Adriatic.
No, that is not correct. Ocean. Well, you have 4 choices. Go for one, Blaine.
Indian.
No! Yeah! I think you'll find that Europe is very, very far from the Indian Ocean.
Up yours, Blaine.
Yeah. Atlantic Ocean. At the end of round 1, frivolity and brotherhood prevail. The score, 300 to 300. But stick around, because when we get back, it's going to get super ugly. Stay where you are. Welcome back. I'm Bobby Van. After the general knowledge round, it's a tie. 300 to 300. How are you guys hanging in there?
I'm fine, but you know, I knew Bobby Van, and believe me, you're no Bobby Van.
I appreciate that. He could dance as well.
You know, Bobby.
Patton, how's it going over there? And I'll turn it to Blaine.
Well, it's, kind of...
Yeah, that's about how it goes over there. All right. Now, the questions are going to focus on both of your very, very différentes demandes. Here are 5 questions written for each team. If you answer a question in your category, it's worth $200 million. If you answer a question from the other team's category, it's worth $400 million. A wrong answer costs you $200. Because this is a timed round, there is strategy involved. Since the score is tied, the comedy legends will choose first. Yeah. And one person is wildly excited. You can pick from your side of the board, or you can poach a question from your opponent's side. Your choices are: take my lease, please, or lie down on the couch and open up for me. Fred Travalena, I worship at your mic. Will you choose?
Yeah, comedy legends.
Okay, here we go. Finally closing in 1998, what 1,200-room hotel was known as the biggest of the big Catskill resorts? Kip.
Grossingers.
No, I'm afraid it's not Grossingers. Young people? Freddie Roman? Dick Shawn? Toady Fields? Anyone?
Get a chance to go back?
Well, why don't you get it? I'm not giving you the points before we start the turmoil. But go on, you know the answer it is.
The Concorde.
The Concorde. The
That's what I was
Concorde.
trying to think of.
But grossing just came out of your mouth.
But you said time limit.
What? I didn't say time limit. This is worse than being with my grandfather. You better... Hey! You better give me a $5 bill at the end of this.
I know your grandfather.
And he's no Bobby Van.
Yeah, that's true. Solomon Proops. Here's the new category. A few good mensch. All right, Fred, you choose again.
How about a few good men?
All right, how about it? Mel Brooks, Mel Tolkien, and Woody Allen were a few of the comics who wrote for what classic NBC variety series that debuted in 1950? Kip.
The Sid Caesar Show.
Can I take that, Andrew?
Wait a minute. No. Show of
Sarah.
Your show of shows.
Your show of shows.
This is a rip-off.
You know that was wrong. West Coast.
That should have been. That should have been.
No, that's really not. Look,
I
you know
should
why?
badge on that,
You know
Kip.
why? Ageism.
I see.
A technicality.
You notice how
We lost by
Shelley's first
technicality.
question was correct and mine was incorrect.
I think you've been doing too
Gabriel,
much
call
Imogene
my lawyer,
Coca.
please.
Here we go. New category. It's better to be slicing roast beef than slapping ham. There are 2 minutes left. Sarah, you're beguiling, you're alluring, and the writers want to marry you. Will you choose?
Lie down on the couch, open up for me.
I believe I shall. What animated Comedy Central show features the guest voices of alternative comics revealing their neuroses to a low-key psychologist? Patton Oswalt.
Dr. Cat.
That's right. Rolling on. New category. There's a 2 latte minimum,
We got Spirit. How about you?
but no hardcover charge. Patton, my delightful munchkin, will you choose? There's less than 2 minutes left, you guys.
2 latte minimum.
Here we go.
Hurry up.
A popular venue for alternative comedy. What national bookstore chain was launched in Ann Arbor, Michigan in 1971?
Hoovers.
Patton
Borders.
is exactly right. New category. Alternative lifestyles of the bitchin' famous. There is 1 minute left. Patton, what's it gonna be? You gonna poach?
Let's stick with our side. Alternative lifestyles of the bitchin' famous.
Here we go. What Canadian comic troupe launched the careers of such alternative comics as Scott Thompson, David Foley, and Mark McKinney? Shelley.
SCTV.
No. Anybody over there? Patton
Kids in the Hall.
is correct. New category. Might as well face it. He's the dick that you love. Patton, what's it gonna be? 30 seconds.
Might as well face it, he's the dick that you love.
On what NBC comedy does alternative comic Andy Dick play a neurotic office worker named Matthew? Patton
News Radio.
is correct. New category. Cross my heart and hope to kill. What's it gonna be, Patton?
Cross my heart and hope to kill.
Here we go. Produced by and starring Bob Odenkirk and David Cross. What is the name of HBO's cutting-edge sketch show? Patton
Mr. Show.
is correct. Nothing left but comedy legends. Time is up. Raging ahead, the alternative comic 1700. The original gangsters minus 300. When we come back, blood will flow. Do what you do. Welcome back to Versus. I'm Mark DiCarlo. This is what it all boils down to. The young comics lead the legends. The winners keep the money. The losers go home with nothing. But not exactly nothing. They get something, don't they, Joe?
That's right. Each loser will receive Ashley's Comfort Lounger and Ottoman in designer leather match fabric. Durable swivel recliner chair fashioned in a smart contemporary look. Creative styling that adds to any decor from Ashley.
All right, here we go. It's like herding cats up here, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the egos of 6 comics all together, or 7, sorry, I forgot to include myself. Here we go.
Good, Kip. Kip.
That is good Teflon, it really is. It's crunchy and it just makes you forget. Here we go. Each of you will get 3 questions and that's it. Ring in as soon as you think you know what the answer is. If you get it right, you win $250. If you get it wrong, we take away $250 from your total. All of the questions in this round can be answered by one of these 3 choices. Ben Stiller, Jerry Stiller, or Psycho Killer. I think we understand how it works. Mr. Travalena, Mr. Oswalt, stand 2, let's play Versus. He starred in the 1993 film The Pickle. Patton.
Jerry Stiller.
Jerry Stiller. It was an electrifying performance when Florida executed one of... Patton.
Psycho Killer.
Psycho Killer. It was in Permanent Midnight that he gave a... Patton.
Ben Stiller.
Is correct. Moving on, gentlemen. It's a lightning round. Silverman. Mr. Berman.
Thank you.
Wow.
No, I guess not.
It's all good.
I can't see the doodad.
That's all right. Listen up. Here we go. This is round 2. He made his TV debut playing the violin on the Mike Douglas show. Shelley.
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller. Don't correct yourself. You were right. Come back in. He killed more than 36 times on the Ed Sullivan Show. Sarah.
Jerry Stiller.
Jerry Stiller.
Why didn't this go?
What am I, a technician?
No, I thought you could interrupt.
He initially passed up the Seinfeld gig to do a play. Sarah.
Jerry Stiller.
Is correct. Moving on. Lightning round, stand 2, Kip. Mr. Carpice.
Now, am I correct? I don't have to wait for you to finish the question.
That is correct. However, you run the risk of erring. Here we go.
I don't care if he airs.
All right, here we go. He loved making people laugh as a clown, but then John Gacy became one of these by...
Psycho Killer.
Psycho Killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? He directed Livewire, Jim Carrey, and The Cable Guy. Kip.
Ben Stiller.
Is correct with a great sigh. It contains the passage, I can't sleep because my bed's on fire. Kip.
Jerry Stiller.
No. Blaine.
Psycho Killer?
Is correct. The alternative comics are the winners, ladies and gentlemen. And the old school go home big losers. Come on down. But don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to make pudding. And I mean it.
In my bed!
Welcome back. I'm Janine Garofalo. Well, the alternative comics are the winners, ladies and gentlemen. There's hatred and there's love. Wow. You've won a total of 3,200 clams, which is, of course, yours to keep. Now we're going to see if you can't win some more cash.
We're going to actually give our winnings to a charity. We've decided to give it to a charity.
Really? That's very generous. Who are you going to give it to?
The Comic Legends.
It's time for the grand finale. I will ask you one question. Get it right and you'll win $1,000. That's $1,000. If you get it wrong, the Comedy Legends will have one last chance to take it away from you. Here are the 2 subjects you may choose from. 17th century French playwrights or the films of Margaret Cho. All right, what's it gonna be, Patton?
We'll take the films of Margaret Cho.
Very well done. Here is the question. You have 10 seconds to confer, then give me the answer. Multifaceted actress Margaret Cho skillfully played the role of Wanda in what 1997 action thriller? It's time to confer. While we consider Margaret Cho's oeuvre and the magnificence therein. And Margaret, if you're watching, love you, pumpkin. All right. Time is up. I need your answer, please.
Face Off.
Face Off is correct, ladies and gentlemen. They won an extra 1,000 each. That's right. Come on down, gentlemen. The alternative comics carry on. Tune in next time when minds battle street performers for loose change. I quell, and then I plot. Peace out.
The alternative comics will also receive Ricardo Beverly Hills' exciting Big Sur Wheelaboard, ballistic strength, built to last, designed with patented suit garment feature, fashion luggage for serious travel. From Ricardo Beverly Hills. Promotional consideration provided by...
Elegance and convenience are combined in the Busch Entertainment Center with tempered glass doors, adjustable shelves, and concealed storage for all your CDs. From Busch Furniture. A VTech 900 megahertz cordless telephone with 2-line capability and alphanumeric call waiting caller ID. Performance and technology that you can clearly hear from VTech.
Up next, it's another episode of Comedy Central's Versus. It's a game show that pits two rival teams against each other in intellectual combat.